The madness is upon us once again this Wednesday. And just like our previous videos, I'm coming out with cheesier and cheesier ways to introduce this here video. In my last trip outdoors on Sunday, I said this. You see, this is one of those locations that I have a real love-hate relationship with. Did it end up being a love-hate relationship once again with that location? Stay tuned to find out if that was the case. And whilst you're here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really is appreciated. So here we go then, first image up and ready to share with you. As you can see, like I said, this spot I went to, it is a little bit of a boat graveyard. We've got this out of shot picture of a boat here in the background, and the foreground is dominated by the remains of this tree stump at low tide. First things first, what do I hate about the shot? Well, the lack of separation for one thing. I kind of say it quite often, but I just don't like how I don't think I'd have been able to have got away with it either, because of course you've got this tree stump here that just forms with the grasses in the background. I don't like this tree here, but that's something, of course, if we jump into a crop, that's something we can straight away get rid of. And of course it gives us a nice rule of third shot as well, because of course we've got the left vertical here on the tree stump, and then the top right vertical point falls on that boat. So in terms of the composition, it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's give it a preset just so I can have a little bit of a starting point as to where to begin my edit. Let's go with a nice soft amount of contrast to begin with. Highlights, can't really push them any further unless I attach some masks. Let's pull back the shadows. Let's make it a little bit darker. Okay, something a bit like that. It's not too bad. Quite like the darkness here in this stump. And then let's just play with the texture. See if softening the image isn't the worst. It does soften the boat maybe a little bit too much, so we don't want to pull that clarity too far to the left now, do we? Also, we've got some lovely light in the clouds. What I think I'll have to do is attach a mask to the sky and just make that a little bit darker. Let's come down and just, do we want to drop the saturation? It's already there's not much colour in the image already, so we don't want to pull it too far to the left either. Not too bad, not too bad. Like I say, I'm not happy with the separation, but yeah, this first image up on screen for you to view right about now. So of course, as you'll know from previous episodes, it's about the good and the bad images. This image, or these two images, I've picked them out. They're not ones that I hate per se, but I just don't think, I think they're a bit flat. They're just images taken, maybe test shots. I do like how you've got the path leading here, and it's almost like you've got the remains of a stone jetty. I've never quite known what it is, overlooking the bay, the sea here to the left. It's not the worst, but I don't know, it's just not, for some reason it doesn't appear to be my kind of cup of tea. And then this second one of the boat in the stuck in the mud. You've got these flats in the background, which again, they're not the worst. It's not the worst case in the world, because of course I can just crop that out something a bit like that. There we go. And again, I do quite like how you've got in the mud here this kind of gap in the grass, and you've got another gap here, and both kind of do just lead to the boat. I think it's more the placement of the boat in the shot. I think I should have come around. I should have come around to the right a little bit more, because at the moment it doesn't. I'm guessing you could probably tell it's a boat, but I still feel in my head you can't fully tell that it is a boat, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit too much. Now we come to the next shot I'm going to edit and I want to play with. And what I want you to do here is just keep an eye on the histogram, because it's an image I took 4 exposures for. I've focus bracketed this shot, and this histogram will just show you how I've darkened the image. And what I've ended up with is, of course, I've then merged these 4 images here in Lightroom, and it's left me with this shot here. It's left me with a lovely amount of detail, a lovely amount of data to play with in the image. You've got this lovely sunrise just appearing off in the distance. Let's go to one of my presets for a starting point. Again, I was playing with this the other day as kind of just prep for this episode. Again, I just wanted to pull that contrast just to the left. Found at the time, there we go. Around the time, I don't want it too light, because of course sunrise is only just on the way, but I don't want to bring out too much colour in the sky and make it too. I don't want to exaggerate the sunrise too much. I just want to leave it nice and natural best possible. Of course, it would just pull that, just getting a little bit, just see that colour, see that light, sorry, coming out of the clouds. Again, let's see if we can light it up a little bit more. Look at that, there you go. And we don't equally want to lose the darkness in the sky. It's a difficult one to change. It's almost like, this is one of those shots where I think I'll end up trying to get that painterly fine art. Is it a painting, is it a photo? Kind of look to it. So yeah, if this shot has come out, or if this shot comes out how I want it to, here it is now. So this shot, yeah, this was one of those where I was walking back to the car. I thought, oh, that looks nice. Kind of like these rocks, how it's almost like it's a broken up pathway that's just been absolutely destroyed by the conditions, by overuse over the years and whatnot. And I've got mixed emotions about this image, because whilst I love this foreground and how it leads you into the shot, there's not much, it's not leading you into anything, it's leading you into a dog's dinner of a composition almost. I love the detail here in the rocks. You've got the moss on the weathered bricks. I quite like the green of the foliage here in the background. If your eye kind of leads you around here, there's nothing over here that kind of attracts your eye enough for my liking. Yeah. Sometimes I kind of get back into Lightroom and I kind of look at an image and I think, yeah, I can see what I was trying to do, but it's not worked. It really hasn't. That's no bad thing. That's no bad thing, of course, because, of course, if you don't try something at all, then you'll never know if it works or not. Like, this could have worked, the light conditions could have been better on another occasion, but no, not today. Now we come to kind of a long exposure that I took. I had to there was so much cloud cover in the distance. I just loved, like, come to a shot, like, if we look at the detail, look at the movement here in the clouds. This shot got taken over 80 seconds, and it's just in those 80 seconds, of course, the clouds have moved, and because of course the shutter's capturing every single second of that movement, you get these lovely lines created in the sky. And of course, if we pull back the shadows, I did probably get the exposure wrong for the most part. So of course it's a very dark image, but yeah, just it's all, the foreground is a bit meh. Foreground's a bit meh. But the lines in the cloud, for me, they're what make this image. Of course, I could pull back the slider on the clarity, soften those up, soften the whole shot up almost. Could get them back maybe in the texture, or of course I could pull the clarity as well to the left. Here we go. Look at that. Lovely. Just the sort of shot that I was really wanting to get. Maybe not with this composition, but it's still a composition I quite like. So yeah, here it is on screen now. This last set, there's about 8 of them. I'm just going to quickly scroll through while I'm talking. And I was a little bit lazy. I knew there was this last abandoned boat in the distance, so I drove around to it rather than walk the extra couple of miles because, yeah, like I say, I was feeling a little bit lazy. I just love how you've got the boat kind of, or the ship just stuck again in the mud. You've got some here that I've taken where, of course, you've got some grasses on the bank, where I've taken the shot a little bit higher up. I've kind of done a little bit of framing, and this is what I mean when I'm out and I'm trying to take a shot. I try and look at it from all angles. I take multiple shots from every single angle that I can think of, because then when I get back to Lightroom, I might not like the shot at the time. And I do love, there was something like this one. I just love how you've got this walkway that leads you into the shot. You've got this kind of structure here that I don't know what this was ever supposed to be. Kind of as a foreground element, you've got the boat kind of just there in the background. Again, a similar one here where I've kind of moved myself. This one nice and low to the ground. However, maybe I should have been a bit higher to create separation between the sea and this brick wall. But whilst it's not going to be one that I'm going to share on social media, it's all about kind of deciding, okay, which image do I prefer? Which image comes out the nicest from the edit? But most importantly, I've realised when I was there, sunset one day is going to be right around here. So whilst none of the images really jump out at me in particular, there's a couple that I really do love. The best thing that came from this particular trip was the fact that I've got a sunrise. Sorry, I've got a sunset in my pocket to go to in a couple of weeks' time. So this one's not going to appear on your screen now, but it'll appear again soon, because it's not going to be too long before I'm going back. I'll be taking you with me, and we'll sit there and we'll enjoy a lovely sunset together. But that's all for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you out bright and early again on Sunday morning. See you then. Bye for now.